What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Amusement Media. Today I'll be talking about everything new at America's rock and roller coast, Cedar Point. I'll also be giving you some good tips on how to spend your day in this very changed year. And believe it or not, there are a lot of changes this year compared to other years. If you enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe for more great roller coaster content. It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now without further ado, let's get into this video. First off, let's talk about the brand new attraction coming to Cedar Point in 2021. I'm talking about Snake River Expedition. This well-themed boat ride is a one-of-a-kind attraction for Cedar Point. It's something that the whole family can enjoy with no large drops and shouldn't really get you wet. This ride is brand new and opened on May 28th. I'm trying not to spoil the ride for myself too much, but if you want to see more about it, I'm sure you could find some videos of it here on YouTube. And don't worry, I'll be sure to cover it once I experience it, hopefully in about 2 weeks. The basics of this attraction is that you're going to help a local trapper get some cargo across the river. You'll see some cool animatronics and live actors, some of which will be trying to invade your ship. This has a minimum height requirement of 46 inches, meaning that littler kids can enjoy this than a lot of other rides here at the point. It looks as if Cedar Point took some inspiration from the Jungle Cruise at Magic Kingdom for Snake River Expedition, which I'm completely down for because the Jungle Cruise is a very fun attraction. Snake River Expedition is a very welcome addition to the point, and I can't wait to experience it soon. With 2021 being the smaller year of the park's 2-year 150th birthday celebration, Cedar Point will be offering different merchandise, a nighttime celebration with a special show, and a big parade. These celebratory events will be taking place June 26th through August 15th, so you'll have to visit in the heat of the summer to experience this once-in-a-lifetime celebration. Like I said, this is the smaller year of the park's 2-year event, so make sure you check out my video on what coaster might come to the park next year. Next up is that Cedar Point will not be open on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the month of June. This is due to their staffing problem. Every park in the country is at least somewhat understaffed right now. Since the unemployment rates are up, and just using the pandemic as a reason to be lazy, many parks are looking for employees. If you want a fun job at your local theme park, they could absolutely use it, so it's definitely something to consider. Cedar Point usually gets a fair amount of international workers as well, and many of them aren't quite ready to come over to the US yet, or they're just not able to come over because of government restrictions. I actually had a trip booked the second week of June on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I had to contact the park and change my reservations to a Thursday and Friday. This is a bit of a tedious process, but it is what it is, and it's important to know this so you don't fly out from, say, California just to realize the park isn't even open. This is a little annoying since these are typically the least busy days of the week, and since a fair amount of people have to move their trips, it might make every day a little bit more busy. Next is all the changes to resort and season pass holder early entry. All guests staying at one of Cedar Point's resorts can get in an hour early along with platinum pass holders. Guests who have a Cedar Point Gold Pass are allowed in 30 minutes before park opening. Early entry was non-existent last year, and many fans of the park are very excited about its return. Typically, coaster enthusiasts enter the Magnum Gate towards the back of the park, then make a beeline to Steel Vengeance. But sadly, Steel Vengeance will not be open during early entry, except on Saturdays and Sundays. This is an inconvenience, but I'll explain the path you should take in a minute. Another inconvenience is that the Magnum Gate is reserved for guests staying at Hotel Breakers or Lighthouse Point only. This is nice if you're staying at one of those resorts, but for most guests, we have to enter through the front gate. And if you're familiar with the layout of Cedar Point, it's about a mile from the front of the park all the way to the back, so if you want to head to, say, Maverick or Steel Vengeance first and have to enter in the front, that's close to a 15-minute walk. If you're at Cedar Point on a weekend, you might as well go to Steel Vengeance in early entry, but if possible, I recommend you avoid Cedar Point at all costs on the weekend. If it's the only time you can go, that's fine, but most of the general public also go on the weekends for convenience reasons, making the park absolutely slammed. If you're planning on attending early entry at 10, you should try pulling up to the parking lot at 9:30. This gives you enough time to park, go through security, and start walking towards your first coaster. Since you can't enter through the Magnum Gate this year, you'll have to enter through the front entrance. Raptor, Wicked Twister, Gatekeeper, and Valraven will be right in front of you, but you have to resist those massive B&Ms and head straight towards the back of the park. It's common knowledge that the GP typically start at the front and work their way towards the back. Cedar Point's most elite coasters are in the back half of the park, and it's ideal to knock them out early before they get too long of lines. Alright, so what path should you take to maximize your early entry if you're there on a weekday? I'll be using a few tips from OK Coaster's video, so make sure you go check him out after this. After you pass all the coasters in the front, you should head to Millennium Force if it's running. Make sure you download the Cedar Point app before coming to the park so you can see wait times and what rides are currently operating. Or you could just keep your eyes on the sky because Millie's absolutely massive. After getting a ride or two on the world's first Giga, head to Maverick. These two coasters get some of the longest lines at Cedar Point, and you should be able to knock both of them out and maybe get a re-ride or two. Then get in the line forming in front of Steel Vengeance. Trust me, there will be a line forming in front of it. You should try to get here a little bit before park opening or at the latest 5 minutes after. After a ride on Vengeance, or maybe a few if it somehow has no wait, head towards Top Thrill Dragster. You should try to knock it out as soon as you see it running because it's not uncommon for Dragster to go down for long periods of time. You could also hit up Corkscrew, Magnum, Gemini, and Cedar Creek Mine Ride while in this area. Try to do the front half of the park and the second half of the day. This way most GPs will be finished with the front and already in the back section. Now, if you're a Gold Passer and get in 30 minutes early, you can only ride attractions in the front of the park. Yeah, I know, another inconvenience for you guys, but for Platinum Pass holders like me, it will keep the whole back half of the park less busy during early entry. The coasters the Gold Passers can ride consist of Gatekeeper, Raptor, and Valraven. They are asking you to scan your pass at the front of most attractions, so make sure you have it on you. Another nice addition to the park is that Steel Vengeance now has free lockers. As many of you know, Steel Vengeance has a very strict loose article policy, and in years prior, it was basically an upcharge to ride it. This is because you had to buy a locker to store things that usually go in your pocket, such as your phone, keys, and wallet. Luckily, in 2021, Cedar Point added free lockers for these small items. They're located just a few steps into the queue, and you'll pass by them on the way out. This is a fairly similar system to the one we've recently seen on Velocicoaster. These aren't that big, so if you have something that doesn't fit in your pockets, you still have to buy a locker. This is normal with some other coasters, but I'm glad I don't have to buy a locker for just my phone. Cedar Point is also hosting multiple seasonal events this year, similar to how Dollywood does. The first is Frontier Fest, spanning from opening day to June 13th. This has unique food options and frontier-style decorations scattered throughout the park. The second event is Cedar Point Nights, running from August 6th to September 6th. This is an after-dark event on the beach consisting of games, fire pits, and live entertainment, and of course, the reason most of us will attend, great night rides on some of the world's best coasters. Now, Hollow Weekends isn't confirmed yet, but the park has said that it will most likely return in 2021. Finally, Cedar Point has a few brand new restaurants for 2021. If you're seeking some classic amusement park food such as chicken tenders, burgers, and fries, head to the Corral over by the Raptor Midway. If you want some good French food, head to French Quarter Confection. There's also an all-new vegan restaurant called Wild Turnip over by Steel Vengeance and Maverick. So if you're vegan or just want to try some vegan food, definitely check it out. We've gone over all the major new additions to Cedar Point this year, though they do have some notable pandemic protocol changes, which if you want to learn more about, check out my video on the topic. I'll link it in the description and the card above. Let me know in the comments below when you're visiting Cedar Point and what new addition you're most excited for. Thanks for watching today's video, and as always, stay safe, keep riding coasters, and have a great rest of your day. Peace!